Hey guys, welcome back. So today's tutorial is going to be on this look right here. It's super easy and simple, so let's get started. First off, I'm going to go in foundation and I'll be using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Makeup Foundation and just applying this all over my face, buffing it especially, or shall I say focusing it in areas that are darker than others, especially on my mouth and my eyes, around my nose area. Lately, I've been loving this foundation because it gives you full coverage, lasts all day, and it also moisturizes your face. Next up, I'm going to be setting the foundation with a powder, and this is the Smashbox Photo Filter Creamy Powder Foundation in the number 4. It's pretty nice and neat. It doesn't kick out your face and it's not too thick. Next up, I'm going to be applying concealer. I'm applying this underneath my eye area and also on the bridge of my nose and my forehead. This is, by the way, Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Custard. And if you guys notice, I am actually just buffing this in. I'm not pulling the product away. I am buffing this in with the Morphe E45 brush. This brush is freaking amazing. It's actually my favorite buffing concealer brush. Next, I'm going to be using the Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. Just setting this underneath my eyes, around my nose, and on the forehead. Pretty much in the areas that I have applied the concealer on. So for the next couple of steps, I will be using everything from the Shade Light palette right here. I'm going to be taking the darkest shade from that palette and using the Anastasia brush in number 12, shading in my brows with that color. Lately I've just been using shadows, or shall I say contouring colors for my brows, and it's really easy and fast and I love it. See here that I'm pretty much just going in and pretty much darkening up my brows, following the shape of it. I have really thick brows, so I don't really have to do much with them. So taking a MAC 224 brush and going in with the middle shade in the Shade Light palette, I'm going to be contouring my nose. I'm pretty much just darkening it up and giving me a little bit more dimension around my nose area. Now I'm taking the top left contouring color and just applying that to the center of my nose, just making it appear a lot pointier and making it stand out. For the eyes, I'm going to be using most of the shadows, I think pretty much all the shadows from the Shade Light eye palette from Kat Von D. I will also be using all of the colors on the Cool Tone box, or I guess if it's confusing, all of the colors on the left side of the palette. The color you see me buffing here is the lightest shade from that little palette, and that is my transition color. Now taking the middle brown shade, I'm going to be applying that all over my eyes also, but instead of going all the way to the top, I'm just sticking with the middle part of the eyes and then buffing that out. Taking an e.l.f. blending brush, I'm going to be taking the darkest brown and taking that at the outer corner of my eye and the inner corner, blending that into the middle and just buffing it in, making sure that everything is seamless. Now using the flat blending brush, I'm going to be pulling some of that white shadow below my brow bone, giving it a little bit of color and just making it pop. Next, I'm going to be taking ColourPop's gel liner in the color Swerve, also just basically a black gel liner, and I'm applying that with a Tarte liner brush. I like to start in the middle and then start going towards the outer corner of my eyes and then pulling it out. People like to do their wing different ways, but I like to just make it simple but not too simple and not too dramatic. Now I'm going to be taking Marc Jacobs gel liner in Blackguard and just applying that on the bottom of my eyes, on the waterline basically. I love this liner because it lasts all day and it stays put. So going back to the eyes, I'm going to be applying a black matte eyeshadow to the outer V of my eyes and blending that towards the middle, not passing the middle. This is going to create an illusion of more dimension towards your eyes. Taking a Morphe M213 brush, I'm applying the same black matte underneath my eyes and pretty much just setting that that pencil liner that I applied on earlier, and also just giving my eye more dimension underneath my eyes. This is going to pretty much blend the top and the bottom eye together. Once you apply all your shadows on, I like to buff away any loose shadows that may have fallen underneath my eyes. And here I'm using a MAC 187 brush. Next up is mascara. I am just applying a simple mascara just to coat it on, even though we're still going to be applying fake eyelashes at the end. And if you're wondering, I am using Lancome's Hypnose mascara right here. I'm applying this mascara on the top of my lashes and also onto the bottom of my lashes. For the look today, we will be using everything from the Nars Kevin Klein or Kevin Klein, one of those. Please excuse my pronunciation. The bronzer that I am applying onto my cheeks here is in the color Laguna. So if you already had that color, then you actually don't have to worry about having this palette. Laguna is a nice bronzer, but as you can see here, for my skin type, it doesn't come on too well. So I am applying pretty much a really heavy hand. Here I am applying the darkest shade in that palette to make the bronzer a little bit deeper, and that is a really deep brown. I like it, but you want to go with a really careful hand. And there is Lexi in the background just walking around doing her thing. Please don't mind her. And here I'm just applying the same bronzer to my jawline. Next, I'm taking an E3 brush by Morphe and applying blush. I'm using the lightest blush from the palette, which is the bottom left color. Any pink should do though. Next, using a fan brush, I am taking the color Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill and applying that onto my cheekbones. This is gonna pretty much just pop and make everything come together. I freaking love this highlighter. I'm also going to be applying this right onto my cupid's bow and onto the bridge of my nose. For my lips, I'm going to be using those colors in the color Merlot and I can't even pronounce it right. In the color Merlot, and apply this all over my lips. I freaking love this color. It's so freaking vibrant, bold, and red and matty, and just awesome. It screams in your face like, hey, what is going on? Anyways, after applying this on with the doe foot applicator, I am going over it with a lip pencil just to define it more so that there is no smudging or no screwing up, because you pretty much don't want to mess up when you're applying on any kind of red lip color. My battery did die, and while it was recharging, I did my eyelashes already, and here I'm just setting my makeup with Urban Decay's setting spray. And that pretty much wraps it up for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe.